Good morning, dear ones. It's very nice to see you again. We thank you for braving this snowy weather. And a warm welcome to our visitor from Michigan. We wish to tell you at this point that you are what's called a light worker, and we understand you may not be familiar with this term, and it's nothing frightening. If you wonder about this, this is something we've covered in many channeled teachings, so we won't go into it in depth here. Basically, a light worker is someone who took this current rebirth with the awareness of what's happening on the planet, the ascension process, and this awareness that they come in with is usually based upon many lives of very high frequency, high energy, high consciousness, spiritual work of all different kinds. And the intent of these light workers is to participate somehow or to take advantage of these energies and of these incredible times which have never ever before occurred on this planet to further your own ascension and growth, and by doing so thus create the space, the karma, the energy for the rest of humanity to eventually ascend. So today we would like to discuss yet another aspect of how you may assimilate these highest vibrations and energies coming in to your highest benefit, and also in a way that will make all of the changes you're going through and will be going through so much easier. So today we will be talking about what's called your soul star chakra. This is a transpersonal chakra. In other words, it's the first in line of chakras that are not of your physical body or your subtle energy bodies. Your soul star chakra is located about 6 inches to 2 feet, depending, above the topmost aspect of your physical being and above your crown chakra, of course. Your soul star chakra is your connection to highest ascended energies. It's your connection to Creator, your energetic connection to Creator, to ascended masters, to angels, and to all of the increasingly powerful and higher frequency ascension energies that are being poured forth to this planet. Between your soul star chakra and your crown chakra is an energy gateway. Sometimes it's called your stellar gateway. And this is a gateway by which energies that are poured into and pulled into by you into your soul star chakra, this is the gateway by which energies are then sent to and filtered down to your crown chakra, which then disperses these energies throughout your entire being on every dimension and level, including, of course, all of your chakras, all of your subtle energy bodies. So you see, this is an extremely important energetic connection. So what's happening right now with the soul star chakras of most light workers and of people of higher vibration, higher awareness, even those who don't know they're of higher vibration and higher awareness, those whose energy is comprised predominantly of love and generosity and selflessness, these things. What's happening to your soul star chakras right now is they are filling. They're filling to the point of overflowing with divine energies of unconditional love, of ascension, of enlightenment, being poured forth not only from your own soul, from your own higher Christ itself, or your own higher self or light body, but also from all of the sources we've mentioned so many times, from us, your ascended masters and angels, from the great galactic center, and from so many civilizations, ascended civilizations, and beings who've come to this planet at this time to participate in this and help. So many light workers are reaching the point, usually unbeknownst to them, of having a soul star chakra that's somewhat bursting at the seams, so to say. And so what we will discuss today is how to make use of these energies, how to facilitate the flow between your soul star chakra and your crown chakra, and then what to do with those energies. These energies are impactful in just about every way you can imagine. They play a part in awakening your new chakras, or the ones that have been dormant for so long that we've discussed in past channelings. These energies will play a part and are playing a part in all of the other transformations we've discussed, everything from the atomic level of your being to DNA, so on and so forth. These energies that are filling your soul star chakra and that have been pouring in for a very long time now, depending on when you really began taking part in things or when your energy shifted, anywhere from several years to a couple years to a couple months for some of you. So it's very important to open. Now, your soul star chakras have always been open for every lifetime some, because without this connection to creator energies, to universal spirit or God or whatever you wish to call all that is, without some connection to this, there could not be life. So everyone, always, who's been alive on this planet has had a soul star chakra that's functioning to some small degree. And it has been some small degree. We're talking about a couple percent of what could really be, and now is possible in the much higher frequencies and energies that are now transforming this planet. As we've discussed so many times in recent months, Earth, the energy matrix of Earth, has shifted from third dimensional to fifth, fourth, and third dimensional. And this means a great many things. We won't go into it now. It's been discussed so often. If you have questions, just ask at the end. But one result of this is now the vibration, the energy matrix now exists on this planet within which, or into which, your consciousness may expand to higher vibration, to higher dimension, and eventually ascend. So it is very important to activate and open this chakra, your soul star chakra, and to pull the energies into yourself and disperse them, and we'll give you a practice for that. It's very important for all the reasons we've just said and many more. Another reason it's so important is if these energies are pouring forth from your own soul, from your own higher self, into your soul star chakra, because your soul star chakra has been awakened by the energy of unconditional love, by the divine energies that have been pouring into you and that you've responded to. So this is why, for most of you, almost all light workers, including those who are completely unaware of what we're talking about, you have a situation that can be roughly described as a light vessel that's close to bursting at seams. Now, this is a very rough analogy. Of course, it isn't really like that. But the effect of this, if it isn't released for a while on a daily basis, many light workers will begin experiencing imbalance, discomfort in many ways. This is nothing to be frightened of. We've talked many times about many of the symptoms that people will be experiencing and are experiencing anyway from the changes brought forth by these ascension energies. And understand this process of change is simply going to keep accelerating. It will be more powerful energies, more higher frequency energies, exponentially so, and greater volumes of these higher energies. So, another motivation for doing this practice we'll give you is that it should make things a lot easier. Some of the symptoms many of you have already started experiencing, and there's a whole broad spectrum of them, everything from headaches to digestive problems to heart palpitations, which you needn't be worried about, to respiratory issues, and many other things, headaches, lack of energy, too much energy. These symptoms of change will, to some degree, be alleviated if this energy that's building up is pulled in and dispersed and used in the way it's meant to be used, which is to change the very reality and fabric of your existence. For those of you who are newer to this process, we will just give you a reminder. A basic aspect of what's called enlightenment or ascension is coming first to be aware of your own divine essence, to understand that your essence, your very nature, your very core, is that of God. It's the same energy, it's the same thing. It's the energy of universal spirit. And it is first awakening to this awareness, hearing it, coming to believe it, and then eventually it is actually having your consciousness, usually through practice and acceptance and many other things we've discussed, having your consciousness move to a place where you catch glimpses of actually functioning as the divine, and then eventually do that. Come to exist solely as a divine being, existing only in the highest energies of unconditional love, and all that flows from that, all of the abundance and joy, the ceaseless compassion, the ceaseless passion to be of benefit, because now you are aware, you know that you are one with all that is. So just a reminder of some of the basics. So we wish to suggest a practice, and our suggestion is that this be done every day for a while. And this is because there is a ceaseless flow of highest vibrational energies of divine love and transformation flowing into this chakra, into your soul star chakra. And so for a while, this will need to be a daily thing. It needn't be a big deal. It needn't be long and drawn out. Indeed, for those of you who are willing to start this, you'll find that the practice will become very easy, almost automatic, and some of you will find you're even walking around doing it, as you engage in your day. So this practice, we've broken it into 3 parts twice. So it will be 3 parts, and then another 3 parts, and then you repeat the whole thing. The first part of each of the 2 sections is a visualization. Then there's an inhale with something to do, an exhale, then that's repeated, then that's done again in a different way. So we just want to give you the outline so you know what to expect. So here is the practice. And the medium will repeat this practice after the break. For those who wish to stay and actually do this, you can do it together. So here is the practice. First, focus on your soul star chakra. Bring your attention to that place above the crown of your head and visualize it, imagine it, experience it as a radiant, brilliant vessel of divine light and love. Now you will inhale, and as you inhale, declare your intent, something like this. The exact words are not important, but something in the nature of, I activate my soul star chakra and pour forth these highest divine energies into my crown chakra and through my entire being. So you get the idea there. The wording doesn't matter. What matters is your intent, and at this stage it's helpful to state it to yourself as well, or state it out loud if you like. Okay, now, so you've inhaled, you've declared, you have the visualization, you've inhaled, you've declared your intent. Now exhale. And as you exhale, visualize and pull these highest divine energies from your soul star chakra down into your crown chakra, and then down through your entire being, every aspect of your being on every dimension, all the way down your chakra column, out the soles of your feet, and into what's called, people sometimes call it your earth chakra. Today we'll refer it, We will refer to it as your Earth Star Chakra. And this, for those who don't know, your Earth Chakra is below the soles of your feet. It's also a transpersonal chakra. In other words, it's not part of that physical matrix of chakras, or that chakras that are in your physical matrix. And its function is to connect you to the consciousness of Mother Earth and to all that is, and to the oneness of humanity, the planet, and you. The second part of this is another 1, 2, 3. On this part, you will focus your attention on your Earth Star Chakra beneath your feet. And you will intend and pour into this chakra all of these highest divine, transformational, sacred energies that you've just pulled down through all of your being. You will now pour them forth very purposely into your Earth Star Chakra, and you will do that on an inhale. So to visualize, inhale, and then on the exhale, pour forth these highest divine energies of transformation and ascension. Pour them forth into the planet, into all aspects of Gaia, Mother Earth, into all of humanity. And as you do this, know that the essence of all is divine. And the more you can do a practice like this with the understanding, and if you don't have the understanding, just with the thought, I am one with all that is, it will be that much more powerful. So we realize this sounds a little more complex than the usual meditation we give. As we said, it's important for those who are serious about their path to do this every day for a while, for the two reasons we mentioned. Dispersing these highest energies through the rest of your system, your chakras and your physical body and energy bodies, is necessary to further the changes. And as we also said, it will make the changes much easier. There are many light workers lately who've been experiencing quite a few problems. And nothing to worry about, as we've said many times. It will all pass. And change that will be furthering your ascension, your rising consciousness will have taken place step by step. We also would like to make a suggestion for something to do before you start this practice. We suggest you do it every morning. 5-10 minutes is sufficient, and you'll be able to do it faster than that with more ease once you get into it. We would like to suggest that before you do this practice every morning, that you light a candle. And if you're in a situation where you can keep this candle burning for a while in your workplace or in your home, A safe way to do that is with the glass cylinder candles many of you have seen. But any candle will do. Light a candle and know that this flame, this single flame, represents your divine nature. And we suggest, for those who can, leaving it lit for a while because it's a reminder. Everything you do has to do with quickening this flame. It's an aspect of divine. It's your true nature. And truly, so many light workers still cannot believe that the divine would come in one such as them. This is not a criticism. You've lived thousands of years being taught and believing that you're unworthy of God, that you're all the things that you know. You're a sinner, you're this, you're that, you're unworthy. These belief systems are so anchored in humanity that it's become part of your DNA. So please be kind to yourself. We're not saying this to give you yet another reason to judge yourselves or be disappointed in yourselves. Please don't. You're doing wondrously. And of course these doubts will arise. But they will arise less and less as you do these practices. Something we have mentioned a couple times in recent messages to you is a teaching of Jesus, where he said the keys to the kingdom of heaven, the key to the kingdom of heaven is to love God with all of your heart and soul and mind. And as you are now coming to know, what he meant was love yourself with all of your heart and soul and mind. This truly is the key to ascension. Once you come to truly love yourself as the divine, that's it. All of the other teachings we give, all of the discussions on energy and chakras and practices, these are really, yes, they're designed to pull in these energies and facilitate them, but they're just designed really to move out of the way all of the lower vibrational belief systems and karma and energies that humanity and you have accumulated over countless lifetimes, and thereby create the vibration, the space, the energy to receive these ascension energies and to allow your consciousness to rise once again to what it's always been. As most of you know, all of you have been ascended and came to Earth to engage in this adventure in order to ascend from it and be in a place where you could better be of benefit to beings, where you could help other civilizations and other planets who are still trapped in lower vibration, in third dimensional or lower consciousness, so you could help them even more effectively. We wish that you could see the absolute, unequivocal, unconditional love and compassion that was your motivation to do this. you undertook and made the decision consciously to undertake tremendous suffering, to experience the lowest of the low, so that you could ascend from it and help others who are in that place, who have never known what you had come to know as an ascended being, as a fully conscious being. Think about that. Think about the tremendous, pristine, pure love and compassion that was behind such a decision. This is what you are. So that is our message for today. As we said, the medium will review the practice before you do your silent meditation in a little bit. So we will now take questions, if anyone has questions.
How do I know best to utilize my time here?
In Sedona?
So in this existence?
In this existence. Our suggestion would be to begin exploring what we've been discussing. See if it rings true for you. And just to start. And it would not be appropriate for us to give you specific direction, because that direction, although we can guide you and others can be of help, that direction needs to be a conscious choice by you, or it will, in the end, have no substance. Know that you are in a place, karmically, energetically, where you could segue fairly effortlessly, compared to most people, onto a spiritual path. Now, we use the word effortlessly with caution. We mean it relatively speaking. This is because you have many past lives of very high awareness. You have past lives of connection with ascended masters. You've worked with ascended masters to bring benefit to others. Know that it's very common. Matter of fact, it's the case with most light workers that for the first part of their lives, they are unaware that they're light workers, and they're quite caught up in life and growing up and being in this religion or that religion, and being with these parents or those parents, and brothers and sisters, and education, and that whole dynamic that tends to swallow a human being into its energies and just carry people along for a while. And virtually all light workers go through living life and being somewhat caught up in the whole thing before beginning to awaken to that something's happening. Know that it's no accident that you're in Sedona. It's no accident that you are in this teaching. Most of humanity at this point could not even hear these teachings. They don't have the karma to be in the space where the teachings are being given. And if they did make it into the space, they simply would not understand what was being said and would be quite dismissive about it. It's just karma, it's energy, it's vibration. It's the reality you've created for yourself through many past lives of striving for truth, striving to be closer to Creator. It's taken many forms. You've lived many lives on so many spiritual paths. The medium offered to you to make these recordings available. That's something you could do as a starting point. You may also stay after a little bit if you're not rushed for time and speak with the medium about these things. So there are many things to do. And the first, perhaps, is simply a decision to do some exploring. What's this all about? Does it resonate with me? Does some part of it resonate? And ask questions. Do you have any more questions about that or anything else?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any more questions?
Yeah, I've got maybe two. So between the soul star chakra and the crown chakra, that gateway, is that also referred to as the ring pass knot? Or is that something different?
You know, that term is wrapped up with some other philosophies. It does refer to some kind of interchange between those two chakras. I understand that a great deal of what's taught about these things is a little overcomplicated. It's part of the human condition that teachers learn things and often mislearn things, and sometimes with the purest intent and sometimes for other motivations tend to embellish things. This is done most often to meet the need of students who demand some solid understanding of what's happening and steps to take and so on and so forth. So teachers create names, various disciplines and religions create names and concepts. So yes, that is a term that's used for that interchange between those two chakras. It's actually very simple. This stellar stargate, one of the names for it, is truly an energy gateway that will simply open when you open it. There's no, notice we didn't mention it in the practice. It wasn't an extra step. If you will visualize and acknowledge, imagine, feel, whatever works for you, this radiant vessel full of the highest divine energies of absolute, pristine, unconditional love that's filling, ceaselessly filling. And it's ceaselessly filling because your soul star chakra has awakened enough to let these energies in, to attract them, to call them forth. And so this visualization, and then your intent and declaration that these energies will stream forth, stream down into your crown chakra and throughout your entire being, that will be sufficient. The further opening of your soul star chakra will automatically open that gateway. So another benefit, by the way, of this practice is right now, to use a rough analogy, you have this brilliant vessel of light, and in the bottom of it's this teeny little hole. And so it's something of a bottleneck. This teeny little hole was sufficient before because there was only the most gossamer connection between your soul star chakra and divine energies. Now this is a little different for light workers, it's more expanded, but it's still quite small. So as you do this practice, your soul star chakra will expand. This vessel will open more and more and more. And this is another reason why it's important to do this practice daily. It's not just because there's this ceaseless influx of highest energies, but because by doing this practice daily for a while, you will create the causes for your soul star chakra to expand and return to its full function eventually as a conduit for the highest energies of the divine. There's much many effects we haven't really even discussed. We've talked in the past about recently about your opening higher heart chakras, your thymus chakra, or sacred heart chakra as it's called, being a connection to your expansion of consciousness into fifth dimension. Well, this is true also of this chakra. Because through it, you will be pulling in the higher vibrations to further this whole process. It's all tied together. We've mentioned in the past year several times your new chakras. Of course, they aren't really new. They've been dormant for a long time. There are two new ones in your head, or awakening ones in your head, and two in your diaphragm. And our apologies to those who are hearing this for the 100th time. But there are people listening to this who've not yet heard it. So just very briefly, there is an awakening or new chakra in the area of your pituitary gland, behind your eyes, more or less, inside your head. There is another awakening or new chakra at the base of your skull, just inside. It's called the Well of Dreams. What's happening here is what's coming into being is a triangulation between your third eye, your pituitary chakra, and your new pituitary chakra, and your new Well of Dreams chakra. There's a triangulation of energies that will allow your consciousness to function on the fifth dimension and much higher vibration. Without these chakras, without these changes, it simply would not be possible. Then the two new or awakening chakras in the diaphragm, or your higher heart, as we said, and then a new chakra below your heart, higher and lower heart chakras. These have to do with many things, including, as we said, your initial experiences, your initial momentary experiences with your consciousness being in fifth dimensional reality will be experienced through your higher heart chakra and your third eye. But there are many other functions of all these chakras. These new diaphragm chakras have to do with the changes taking place in what was your third dimensional vessel, your body, and your subtle energy bodies, your fourth dimensional energy bodies. Has to do with bringing about changes in them that are necessary for you to exist multidimensionally as you proceed on your ascension process. So those beings who, on Earth, who are unable, because of where they are vibrationally, to have these chakras open and to partake of what's happening on the planet right now, will end up passing on at some point and being ushered very lovingly and supportively to another lower dimensional planet where they will receive all of the help they can possibly receive on their continuing path to ascension. So, you see, no one will be ignored or forgotten. The essence of all beings is divine, and you all of humanity will eventually ascend. Any more questions?
No, thanks.
Very well. Something we wish you to know is that as we say goodbye and sign off for all of our teachings, all of our messages, we want you to know that we prostrate to your divine nature. We honor your divine nature, absolutely, unequivocally. Know that when we look at you, all we really see is your divinity. And we have to exert some effort to bring into focus this third dimensional holographic experience you've created for yourself and are now moving through. So please know that. We've always, even in your darkest days, in your darkest lives, have only viewed you and upheld you as a divine being. So please light the candle. Please take a moment and focus within before you start your practice and recognize your divine nature. And if you don't recognize it, just pretend. Have the intent. Intent now is extremely powerful. Just get in the habit of going in there and doing that. So we will say goodbye now. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all that you are doing and all that you have done.